Good morning, guys. So our chicks are 3.5 weeks old now, so it's definitely time for an update. Okay, let's see. So the chicks are doing very well. They are a pain in the butt, but they're so cute. They make such a mess of their food and their water. I keep trying to figure out different ways to raise it up, but they still keep finding a way to get the pine shavings in there. Or they knock over the water and wet up all of their pine shavings. So that's what happened this morning. They knocked over their water and I think it was because I threw a tomato in there. I just did a harvest of our indoor garden, and there was a tomato that had fallen off, so it was getting soft, so I threw it in there to see if they would like it. They went crazy over it. So I think that's what happened. They started knocking everybody over for that one little tomato. So now I'm in here cleaning out all the pine shavings so that I can put fresh, dry shavings in. Now that that's all cleaned out, I'm going to go ahead and put some fresh pine in there. I have these like baking racks that go inside of one of my pressure cookers. I have 2 of these. So I've started to put these down to get some good height for the water, which seems to be working a lot better as far as the pine getting in those, but they're still knocking it over some. But so far that's worked best. So I'm wondering, am I putting too much pine in it? Is it, am I making it too thick? That could be a possibility as well. Maybe I'll try to make it a little less this time. Hello, baby. Hi. So you may notice there's only 7 in here. Don't worry, no one has passed away. The other one is right next door, the Blue Splash Moran. She's number 8. She's in here because the other day, there was, my daughter noticed that there was blood on her wing, the tips of her wing feathers. So I took her out. I didn't see any damage to her necessarily, but you could just see where there was a little bit of blood. So I'm thinking maybe one of her friends over here may have plucked her in her tail area. So I took her out just in case, so it could heal wherever it was, so they would not pick on her and make anything worse. So she's doing really well in here. My original plan was always to make a second brooder once they got to about 3 to 4 weeks old, so that I could split them up so they had more room. So we'll probably do like 5 in here and 3 in here, because this one is bigger, so this one can still hold it. And now that the big heater is out, see, that big heater is not in here anymore. The big heater is now in here with in the smaller one, and I just have the ceramic lamp coming over this one, and that's working out just fine. So that way it gives more space in here, which is great. And this one we can put maybe 2 or 3 chicks just to give them more space on the right side, and I'll just mix out, you know, swap out the chicks so that they all stay as friendly together as they have been. So that's what's happening with her. That's a blue splash Moran in there. There's 2 blue splash Morans. Here's the second one here. So this is a barred rock. This is a blue splash Moran. This is a blue Americana. That is an Easter egger. That's Sweet Pea. This is Brownie, the Easter egger. That's another barred rock. There's 2 barred rocks. This one and that one. And this is the other blue splash Moran. So they're doing very well. They're so friendly. They're getting so big. I mean, it's crazy how big they are. It really is. I mean, we definitely have to keep the fencing on top, because they will fly out of there if not. Brownie, she's always poking her head out. These 2 are Sydney's. Brownie and Sweet Pea are Sydney's baby girls. Blue. This blue Americana is Sammy's. Sam has claimed her. I'm trying to see how I can hold them so you can see. Let me set the camera down and maybe I can do it better. Alright, who are we getting up to see in the camera? Who do we want to see today? Everybody, right? There we go. So this is blue. The blue Americana. They're all getting so big. Look, she's trying to fly away. No, 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 no. You stay, you stay, you stay. You stay. I check them every few days to make sure their vents are nice and clean. You can see she's got a beautiful area back here, nice and clean. Because we did have that pasty butt for a little bit. So I do want to just make sure everybody's still doing good. Again, she's doing very well. Barred rock. It's funny, the barred rocks remind me of black crows. They're big. Their heads are so much bigger and longer. They remind me of black crows. I think of The Wiz, the movie The Wiz, when I see them. It's funny. Alright, what do we want to see now? Blue splash. The blue splash Moran was the ones that were actually having the pasty. Oh, we're actually having the pasty butt. So, oh, that's beautiful. Perfect. Very good. Just want to make sure that they're doing okay. I do notice sometimes in these 2 that you can see a lot of the skin. Like under their feathers, you can see like the wing. I guess that's normal. I'm only noticing that so much in the 2 blue splash Moran, so I guess that's just the breed thing of how their feathers are growing in. Come here, Sweet Pea. Come here, girl. She's so beautiful. I think she's my favorite as far as, Sweet Pea. Sweet Pea is my favorite as far as looks. She's just a beautiful, beautiful girl. Come here, let me see you. Look over here, look. Her eyes. She's so beautiful. She's a beautiful girl. Aren't you, Sweet Pea? Let me see. It's okay. It's okay. Let me check on this other blue splash while I'm in here. So this is the one that had some blood on her feathers. You can still see where it's dried up right there. So that was on her. So I wanted to make sure she'd be okay. So I haven't seen any more blood on her. Her vent's looking pretty good. She's got a little bit of dried up poop on her feathers right there, so I'll get that off pretty easily. But she may be able to come back in and join them. I think she's going to be okay. So we'll put her back in. She's been by herself pretty much almost a week, I guess, now. They're not so pretty when they're little, these ones, the blue splashes. I don't think they're that great looking. But now she's back in there with them, so I'm sure she's happy. Hey guys, I gotta clean out your water and your food. Give you fresh food and water. But they're doing good. They are doing good. Food is okay, it just has some straw in it. Not straw, I'm sorry, pine. Blue always likes to climb up on top of the doors. She's crazy girl. She's like, I gotta climb up high. Beautiful feathers. Oh, where's the owl beggar? That's right, we didn't talk about him. Her. She's right there. Oops, that's the owl beggar. Here's Olive. Hey, Olive. Olive, she's doing good too. Toddler in here, so she didn't come to give me a report that she's not laying down. Hello. That was browning. So yeah, so we'll see if they can be together in here now that the heater's out and there's more space for them for at least another week as together before I start splitting them up into the other brooder and getting them a little bit more space together. Alright, I gotta get the water done. So I did a harvest this morning of all the veggies and herbs that are in the indoor garden. So things are looking a little cut back. With the basil, you can see the basil's doing well. Here, the two things of sage are doing well. The oregano's doing well. The rosemary's doing well. And I planted some parsley on December 8th, and that is doing well as well. We're getting a few true leaves that have come in. So those are doing well. The tomatoes are on their way out. I did a big harvest of those today. I actually did a big harvest of those a few days ago. So the tomatoes did wonderful, those 3 plants. So I'm very pleased with those. We still have a few more, well, several more that are still turning red and orange from the green, and we'll be ready to harvest in a few more days. And we have still the what's it called, eucalyptus tree that's doing well, and we also have still the aloe plant that's doing well too. So I'll show you the harvest of what we picked from here today. So here's what I harvested today in the indoor garden. We did a lot, which was, I went back there just to, what did I go back there to get? I actually just wanted to pick some of the tomatoes off and ended up picking, I looked at the herbs and was like, oh my gosh, there's a lot that can be harvested and come off, so I can start the drying process to get them in the jars. Again, my goal is just to fill my jars because they're very low from summer. Fill those jars so that we have plenty before spring starts and before we really start growing outside the abundant amount that we get for fresh herbs. These will be dried. So I have basil here, nice healthy leaves, those are really good. I have rosemary here. These are Tiny Tim and Sun Gold tomatoes, they're mixed up. This is oregano. I just took a few long stems off of there, and I have lots of sage here as well. So that was all from today's harvest. And again, I gave one, I had one of these had fallen off into the plant and was becoming soft, so I just thought I would give it to the chickens, see what they did. They tore it up, they loved it. So we do know that our chickens will love any vegetables that are not good enough for us to eat because they may have gotten too soft, a little bit too ripe. Nothing that's bad, but just too ripe, so nothing that we wouldn't want to eat. that they would like to eat. So we know that they would like those. So that's good to know. Just coming back to see how they're doing after I gave them that water and I put less of the pine in there. And they're moving the pine around so much that now there's spaces that are just on the floor. So I'm not sure what to do about that. Like, should I just put more in there or not put more in there? Any suggestions? I'm not sure what to do because they're definitely moving it around and making their own little piles, different places. We already got a few pieces in the water already. So I'm not sure what to do quite yet about the pine, whether to put more or less or what, but I'll figure it out. We'll see. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day.